All right, Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for February 8th through the 14th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, Gemini, so this week we've got some easy aspects, which is quite nice, considering the fact that your ruler was going over Pluto in retrograde these past few weeks. So we can all sort of take a breath, and I think for you there are some opportunities in a few areas which I'll mention. Now, when these aspects are easy, we can choose or choose not to, pursue our goals. We can choose or choose not to cultivate these things. So I feel like when things are easy, it's important that we do, because we do have this support. And we do have a new moon on Monday. So I think the area for you in particular in terms of cultivation will be emphasized in terms of what really matters to you in life. You've got this new moon in your 8th house. And so it's all about reflecting on what the truth is, the truth about life, what matters to you. And even too on a deep level, and this can be something that doesn't have to be that intense, but you can see where you might have attachments, where you might be holding on to things that are better released and let go. And what really sparks that inner momentum and drive, because you're doing things that really matter, or you feel like they're about the truth and they're important to you in that sense. So a great time to reflect on these kinds of things and plant new seeds with that, because over the next 6 months in the long term, the things that you do plant right now in terms of what really matters can be cultivated, right? So it's about setting intentions this early part of the week and sort of nurturing these new beginnings as the week unfolds. Now, the new moon is going to be squaring up to Mars, so I think patience can go a long ways. This is nothing new. The previous weekend had the sun squaring up to Mars, so integrating, I think, maybe whatever the weekend had in store in terms of patience, in terms of sometimes we're wanting to, make some sudden things, do some sudden things, and observing the mind, observing the self, I think is especially important with any square up to Mars, the ego in that sense. And that can help balance things out a little bit and integrate it. But this new moon is going to be sextiling up to Uranus, meaning that it can be quite exciting, and also Saturn as well, which has been the Saturn trining Uranus energy. And so here, productive also, right? So if it is something that's productive in terms of what you can build, and it is all in Capricorn nonetheless, so that it's true, it's real, it's raw, and it's what you're really about. So that's going to be the Monday time frame. Now here, going into Monday and Tuesday, we do have Venus sextiling up to Chiron, followed by Mars trining up to Chiron. So some healing in an easy sense. And I think it can just be quite rejuvenating, in fact. Now, this is a healing that's been taking place over many years involving your life path. You've had Chiron in this 9th house of yours. So, there's been times when you felt maybe wounded or incapable or insecure about the future life path, about how things are unfolding, about what's possible in life. It's very natural, very normal. And in fact, because Chiron has already spent so much time in this 9th house of yours, you're actually quite good in this area at this point. I think you've learned a lot about philosophy, about your outlook on life, and again, what's possible. So anyways, anything that is about expanding your worldview, expanding your horizons, tapping into that adventurous spirit can be excellent this week, since Chiron is in supportive aspect. Now, in terms of that Venus, that could be directly relating to relationships, could be a good healing energy coming in, which is quite nice. Maybe even your self-expression is feeling quite rejuvenated as well. And maybe you're feeling quite rejuvenated. Chiron or Venus rules your 12th house. So this is the house of rest, of relaxation, which could be an opportunity for that this early part of the week. Now, in terms of this trine up to Mars, this is where we could all be feeling quite confident from this, from that healing energy. That motivation can certainly be there. And I think this has been a motivation for you to express yourself. You've had Mars in that 5th house, so I think cultivating your interests or your passions or your hobbies, or just straight expressing yourself, has been a good source of inspiration and motivation for you. So that could be quite good also. Mars does rule your 6th house of routine, health, and daily activities, so you could find some support with that, as well as friends, groups, and any type of visions that you might have for the future. So that's going to be that very early part of the week. And then around Wednesday, Venus does trine up to that Jupiter North Node conjunction, which is very nice. So here, when it does come to specifically that self-expression, there's opportunities. When it comes to specifically that alone time or that spiritual time out, there's opportunities. And even with relationships, since Venus is in your 7th. So there's been a lot of changes here with this, with Mercury and Venus going over that Pluto. But now with the trine, I think through that transformation, through this rejuvenation that we are feeling this week, it's directly supporting this life path. So the life path stuff is shifting and changing this early part of the year. It's been this slow and steady progression of your life path going into a brand new area, which is about communicating. It's about the immediate environment. It could be people in your immediate environment, your peers, things like this, connecting maybe in groups. And but most fundamentally, really understanding the practical aspects of life, which is very natural for you Geminis anyways. So there's a lot to learn about that. I think you have been learning a lot about the practical stuff, whether it's the communication, the daily activities, or the things in that immediate environment. And that's going to be more fuel for this as the North Node continues its transit into that 3rd house. So an excellent day here around Wednesday to cultivate these new beginnings with that, to read, write, share, communicate, whatever it might be. And that could be directly involved with those relationships as well, which again can be quite enjoyable. Now over the weekend, Mars sextiles up to that conjunction, which is quite good, giving positive energy, I think, to that routine, and again, maybe friends or community related things. And again, motivation for you to cultivate this new area of your life path, because you are seeing what's possible with all this. One thing I do want to say is that Jupiter is retrograde. So there is this more reflective, internalized nature when it comes to the intellectual and perhaps social aspects of things, which is fine. It's a good time to sort of reflect and ponder about how these things are unfolding and where you really want to see these things unfold for the next year or two with the North Node transiting into that 3rd. All right, Gemini, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.